everyone, it is me, Sammy. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here. I hope you're all having an amazing day, whatever it is you're doing. Welcome back to another episode in my series of Bake With Me, where I show you various like birthday cakes and things like that that I create for my friends and my family and stuff. For this episode, I have made a naked buttercream cake, which I'm so excited to show you. It's for a 60th birthday in my family this week, and yeah, I had so much fun making this that I thought I would definitely film it and share it with you guys as well. Let's start off by showing you the finished product and the finished cake so you know exactly what you're going to be getting in this video. And this is the finished cake, guys. We've got our sponges showing through our gorgeous naked buttercream decoration. I'm absolutely loving like the sage green and the cream flowers and the little balls for decoration, which I'll leave everything that I used linked down below for you guys as well as my cake recipes and stuff. And yeah, I'm going to show you how I filled them with the jam and the buttercream. I'm going to show you how I decorated them, and then I'm going to show you me finishing it off with all the different cake toppers and stuff. So if you do enjoy this video, please don't forget to smash that thumbs up button and also consider subscribing down below. It would mean a lot to me. And yeah, without further ado, let's dive in and see how I made this cake. So to start off with, I've got my 4 sponges that I've baked yesterday, right? So I've just clinged filmed them yesterday and popped them in the fridge. They're now chilled, and they've also gone a little bit hard, which is what we want for this cake because we're going to be putting some buttercream on it now. If you want to see my plain sponge recipe, then definitely check out my other Bake With Me video, the rose buttercream bouquet cake. I go into detail about how I bake my cakes, but I will leave the recipe and the method down below in the description for you guys. Now we're going to start the decorating. So first off, I'm going to make some buttercream icing. So I'm going to be adding some salted butter with some icing sugar and a splash of milk. I do the ratio of 1 part salted butter to 2 parts icing sugar. So I'm actually going to be doing 2 batches. One batch is going to be 250 grams of butter, 500 grams of icing sugar, and the second batch is going to be the same. I then just add a splash of milk into it if it needs it, just for the consistency, guys. I'm going to be mixing it in my Ninja food processor. You guys know, if you've been watching my Bake With Me videos, I love this for cake mixes, butter icing. It makes it so light and fluffy. It's absolutely brilliant. I'll leave this link down below for you guys as well, because it is my ride or die machine in the kitchen. I absolutely love it. So that is 250 grams of salted butter and 500 grams of icing sugar. Just going to turn this on now and give it a mix. This is what it's looking like after just 1 mix. Now what I'm going to do is add just a little splash of milk to this and give it another mix for 1 more time. If you don't have a Ninja food processor or any kind of way of mixing it like this, then of course you can just mix it by hand with a wooden spoon. It'll just take you a little bit longer. That is our buttercream all done after the 2nd mix. It makes it so light and fluffy, guys. I cannot tell you how incredible this buttercream tastes when it's done in here. I've also got some Seedless raspberry jam, which I'm going to be using for this cake. I've got a cake board here, so now we can start assembling. Now we've got everything. First things first, I'm just spreading a little bit of buttercream onto the bottom of the cake board so that it secures our first cake in place, and then we're going to put one of our larger cakes on the bottom. Now our first cake is down. What we're going to do is pop some of our buttercream into a piping bag now, just to do a ring around the edge. I've just used my scissors to cut off the end of the piping bag. Then we're going to squeeze the buttercream down into it, just like so. And obviously that's going to be squeezing through the end there. Now we just want to ice the perimeter of the cake because we're making a naked buttercream cake and we're putting jam in the center for the filling. We basically don't want any of the jam to seep out to the edges, so we're creating an icing border now, just to put our jam in the center of it so it doesn't seep to the edges. That's the reasoning behind it. So we are literally just going to go around the edge like this, just a smooth circle all around. Just then we can put our jam in the middle. So that's what we're going to do now, is just put our jam filling in the center of this now. Nice thick jammy layer. I'm just going to push that up to the buttercream. That's our jammy layer done. Now we're going to get our 2nd large sponge. Now what we're going to do is spread a thin layer of the buttercream onto the top of this now, and then we're going to flip it face down onto this cake. So again, like I said, we're just going to spread this on, and then we're just going to put this face down on top of there. Trying to get rid of the cling film as well. There we go. And that is our first cake tier filled. We're going to follow the exact same steps now with our smaller 2 sponges to fill them, but instead of the cake board as the base, I'm just going to be using a chopping board. We want to fill and decorate this around the edge before we put it on top of our cake, and we obviously want to decorate this. So what we're going to do is pop this first tier into our fridge to chill for a moment, and then I'm going to fill the second tier. So that is our second tier filled now. Now what we're going to do is pop this into the fridge for a little while, and while that's chilling we're going to be making our second batch of icing. I'm actually going to do 200 grams of butter to 400 grams of icing sugar now, so a little bit less than last time, but I don't think I'll need as much as I just made. So yeah, this is going away to chill now in the fridge, and we'll make the second batch of icing. Right, so it's a little bit later now. We've now had our cakes firmly set in the fridge. I've just made some more buttercream as well. Now what we're going to do is turn this into a naked buttercream cake. The idea is to cover the whole of the top in the buttercream, and we're going to be doing a sheer layer of buttercream around the edges so that some of the cake still shows through, so it gives that sort of naked effect. So that's what we're going to do now. First off, I'm going to load the buttercream onto the top and create our sort of topping. So just going to smooth that over, so we've just got a very thin but even layer of the buttercream all over the top. Doesn't matter if it looks a little bit rustic at this point, like we just want to make sure it's got a nice smooth even layer, just like that. So we can leave it like that for a moment. Now what we're going to do is pop a little bit of butter icing all around the edge, and then we can start scraping. Putting it all around the edge for now. Making sure we're covering any gaps, because obviously there is going to be that lip from in between the 2 layers. We do want that covered because we do want it to still be even all around the edges. Even though we want it to be sheer, we want it to be an even layer, and we want it to look like a smoothly rounded cake. So now what we're going to do is we are just going to be taking our knife, and we're just going to be running it along the edge now, and sort of spinning the cake around, so that we're getting that smooth finish, and just scraping off the excess into our pot. So we're getting that nice finish and that even layer, but we are seeing the cake coming through with the buttercream, which is great. So that's sort of the first bit done. Now we're just going to do some patchwork, so filling in the gaps and things like that down there is what I'm going to do now, just using the buttercream just to try and even it up, because we want it to have very smooth sides. And obviously the center filling is now even with the sponge, but yeah, we're just going to fill in the little bits down here. Again, just getting the knife, the little bit of the buttercream, and just filling those edges. Right, so now that I'm happy with how the edging is looking, we are just going to take the top bits off of here now. So we're just scraping back onto the front, and where we've got these sort of lips at the moment. So you can see these lips on the side. If we just use our knife and just drag that on, it will create that kind of crisp edge, which is what we really want. I think that's the best way to show you actually, if I do it from this angle. So just scraping down. And I'm just going to use a little bit of kitchen towel now just to clean up the cake board at the end, but then that is the first tier iced, and I'm going to pop that into the fridge to set now for a couple of hours. And then what we're going to do is do the exact same step now, covering the top first with buttercream and then scraping around the sides for our second tier. That is our second tier all done. So what we're going to do is pop this into the fridge to chill for a couple of hours as well, and then we're going to come back, assemble and add our cake toppers. Now our cakes have been chilling in the fridge and they are now set, so what we're going to do is pop a little bit more of the buttercream into the center here, and then we're going to lift our second tier and put that straight on top. So that is now our naked buttercream 2-tier cake all ready and set. Now all we've got to do is decorate with some cake toppers. So I've got this set of cake toppers from Amazon, and I'll leave it linked down below because I think it's such a beautiful sage green set. We've got a couple of paper fans here, we've got some artificial flowers, we've got some leaves, and we've got some balls on wire sticks as well. So it's such a great set. And then separately I got a happy 60th birthday cake topper, which is obviously it's for a 60th birthday. But yeah guys, now we're just gonna sort these out, put these onto the sticks and stuff that it comes with. It comes with some sticks and glue dots to help us to get them in. So I'm going to sort them all out, and then we're just going to start arranging them onto our cake. Right, so I've chosen this side to be our front facing side. So obviously I'm going to make sure that the cake topper is reading forward that way. So I might just start with the happy birthday first and then work around it, because we want to make sure that we're still seeing it. So I'm sort of going to put this just slightly forward of center. Just like that. So that's our first piece on. It's already looking great. And then what I'm going to do is just decorate around it, guys, adding and layering and stuff like that. Might use a little bit of buttercream for some things as well. I did reserve a little bit of buttercream still, so just in case I need some buttercream to sort of stick some things on, then I can. Other than that, we're just gonna wing it, and obviously some of them come with sort of wires and sticks and stuff anyway. So let's dive in and get this made. That is me done. So I don't think it's too bad that the back is left plain, but yeah, this is what we're looking like, guys. I think it's really, really pretty, and I absolutely love this cake topper set from Amazon. So like I said, I'll link it down below, but they do so many of them, so many different ones. It's such a cute cake. We've got this naked buttercream, which is super easy to do. You don't have to have massive loads of skills. And then of course, because we're not actually creating our toppers, we are just adding them on. We just need a little bit of an artistic flair to decide where to put them. But other than that, it's super, super easy, guys. But look how amazing that looks. It looks shop bought in my opinion, but it looks really, really bougie, and it looks like there's been so much effort put in, but actually it really is simple, guys. Yeah, that is this naked buttercream cake complete. And yeah, that is it, guys. That is how I made this gorgeous cake. It's actually one of my simplest cakes, but it actually looks the most elegant. I'm really excited to try and plan out Ava's birthday cake, which I think is the next cake I'm going to be making. And yeah, I'm excited to plan it out and sort of see what I can create for you guys. And let me know down below in the comments if there's anything that you'd like to see me create in this Bake With Me series. I would love to create some extra birthday cakes in between birthdays, just to show you guys some new techniques and some tips and tricks. The point of this series is to make sort of professional looking cakes on a budget, quick and easy at home, so you don't have to stress or worry about spending a fortune on cakes. That is the idea behind this series. I hope I've delivered. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and hopefully I will see you very, very soon for another video. Take care. Bye.